live button, so I've just been talking for the last little while thinking I was live, but I wasn't. So yeah, we're gonna jam some High Tide. Welcome everyone who's here. We're gonna jam some High Tide, and then maybe after some Bant Blink to get me in the mood for what I'm playing tonight. Then we're gonna go over the deck I'm playing tonight and maybe try to spice that one up a bit. Nice. Yeah, I had a bunch of requests both last night and this morning for more High Tide, so thought I would oblige. Looks like they're on a control deck of some sort. Methinks they have a counterspell. They know what's in our hand, but they don't know any of the 3 good cards we've drawn. I'm just gonna pass. I'm gonna wait until turn 4 and try to jam both Medallion and Baral in the same turn. Assuming nothing else changes. That's not ideal. I hope I'm streaming in better than mashed potatoes resolution. That's the goal, at least. Let's test the waters. I don't actually care if this gets countered. Yeah. I don't know how familiar they are with High Tide, so it's interesting. Like, I know a lot of people who just snap counter Candelabra because they're really scared of it, but it's not actually that scary of a card. It's good, but it's not, like, if you're a control deck, I think you let it resolve most of the time. So it looks like they're on Grixis, in the presence of Seed of the Synod makes me believe it might be Time Vault. I'm just gonna get Fetid Pools here. Our Sunken Hollow already comes in untapped, so I'm gonna tap the black lands in case they have a wasteland. I'd rather the Baral get countered than the Medallion. So maybe I should have played Medallion first, because then if everything resolved, I could leave out Negate. Crypto Commando. Counter draw, I assume. Yeah. So I have the choice of negating this. And assuming they don't have Daze or Force of Will, I'd get a Baral. Or I can just let this get countered, let them draw, and then play the Medallion, which I think is better. So I'm gonna do that. Yeah, Tara, we're on High Tide. Hey, Exaveron, thanks for joining the stream. I saw you followed. Thanks for dropping the follow. Much appreciated. We got to make sure we play the Medallion. Hey, how's it going? Flo. Sorry, your font's in a weird color for me to read on the dark mode. For MC London, they are testing a new mulligan. Yeah, I was reading about that. I think that mulligan will not be accepted for Magic in general, but we'll see how it goes. I'm dubious, to say the least, but you never know. Hey Benzel, good to see you on the stream. My own Cryptic Command. That's a good draw. No reason to tap out right now. We have double counter up. Five mana. I'll counter it. Whir of Invention. No, thank you. So, my suspicions, I believe this confirms my suspicions that they are, in fact, playing Time Vault. Meditate's a nice one for the combo turn if we're able to find a High Tide, but yeah, the mulligan just seems to ignore the fact that combo decks exist. Like, Dredge players are dancing around a whatever pentagram they drew on the ground with a lot of Bazaar of Baghdad's in it. Like, that's something else for them. So we do want another land, and we want a high tide. Those are basically the only two things we want. If our opponent passes the turn doing nothing, I might try to just jam this Mystic Confluence. Another option is just jamming Supreme Will. We're not in a situation where we can just jam Meditate, but I have done it before. Not super awesome often, but not manaless Dredge. Dredge and Vintage. Bazaar is banned in Legacy, and that's where Manaless Dredge is a deck. But yeah, I think Ian Duke mentioned that if the mulligan gets adopted, they're gonna look at it and readdress all the banned lists. I haven't played it too much. I don't usually play it in my paper versions. I was slightly surprised when I drew it, honestly, but yeah, I think it's a fine card to include in these lists. Yeah, there are Dredge decks in Vintage, but they're not usually manaless. So they have War of Invention. I might try to turnabout target them, tap lands to try to get them to War, and then I can negate it. I think I'll just pass though. Muddle. Another counterspell. I think I'm just gonna pass and discard the Tendrils. Or if they try to go for a War, I can fight a counter war pretty well at this point in time. 2 hard counters and negate and muddle. And now Supreme Will works as well. I'm just gonna start with negate. Just works. Okay. Maybe that was a mistake because negate was sort of the best against them being untapped. Yeah, like now they just get to resolve a Jace, which is kind of not ideal, but yeah. I don't know if I would have used Supreme Will EOT. I still liked having it in hand knowing they had the Whir, but I think I should have used Supreme Will to counter that Whir. Too bad the Red Mage. It's not going to be a super long stream because I'm gonna go play the Paper Highlander tournament, so it's just gonna be for a couple hours maybe. But yeah, I'll put the VOD up on YouTube. Yeah, thanks for dropping in. Remand my Supreme Will. That is okay. High Tide. Never lucky. We're still in fine shape here, honestly. There's an argument for flooding back a negate or a cryptic maybe, but I don't think we need to do that just yet. I think we're safe from getting comboed, and just need to try to find our own. I'm gonna have to muddle this, I think. This list does play Dizzy Spell, Moneybag Stored. Targeting Duress. Okay. That's annoying. Annoying indeed. Trying to decide if I want to turn about them. I don't think I do. Yeah, Judge Kyle's the local Time Vault player, plays every flavor. Oh, psychohedgehog, thanks for following. Missed that earlier, sorry. So I know we have a Supreme Will. So if they just have Time Vault in hand, I think they win. If they have Vault Key in hand, I don't think there's anything we can do. But I'd be a little surprised if they had it. Like, we could fire off the meditate and hope to hit a counter spell, but that's about it. I like Myth Realized quite a bit. I was sort of the first one to really play it, and then I still play it more than most people. It got a bit worse with the printing of Night of Autumn, though, I'll say, because now more like Reclamation Sage didn't always get included in every deck, but Night of Autumn is getting included in every deck. It can get played in, I think. That's interesting. I'm surprised they're taking Supreme Will and passing. That's a surprise. The only reason I would have taken Supreme Will there is if they were about to win. Definitely just gonna preordain here. Try to find something for a high tide. Excellent. We can win here if they have nothing. Do I think they have nothing? I'm gonna say they have something. So I'm just gonna draw this land. And then we're gonna pass. If they try to do something, I'll triple mana leak it if necessary. If they don't try to do something, I'm gonna turn about them. Uptick Jace. All right, turnabout you. So if they have a counter spell, they're obliged to counter this. Snapcaster, Cryptic Command, I suppose. Still need to decide if I want to go for it, because I do have the option of just flooding back the turnabout here. Hey, Lasco the King, welcome to the stream. I've definitely seen your name around before, so welcome back, I guess. Our opponent doesn't look very scary, which makes me want to just jam. But I don't know if we have to yet. Like, I could just play this super safe. I think I'm gonna go for it. Something in my brain tells me to go for it, so I'm gonna trust my instincts. We already do have a recursion piece for high tide if it all does go wrong, so if they have a counter spell, they should certainly try to fight before the high tide resolves. Gonna flood back our high tide. We have draw 7 in hand, so I'm just gonna try to give us as much mana as possible. Keep us black floating there. Seinfeld is a real deck. I've won tournaments with it. Let's start with Meditate, because this Mystic Confluence can counter a spell if necessary. We're actually almost on Natural Storm here. All right, we definitely have them here. Let's get Gitaxian Probe just to see what's up. But I'd be surprised if they have a relevant relevant card in hand. Yeah, just concede. So we're pretty sure they're on Vault. It was maybe they knew we had Tendrils, so that's why they conceded there. They saw our Tendrils really early. Yeah, definitely want to keep this hand. We have a powerful turn 2 play, a tutor for High Tide, another powerful card in this matchup, and Yawgmoth's Will is always a good one to have. It's weird. In Storm, you often don't want Yawgmoth's Will in your hand in case you have to go for a line with Lion's Eye Diamond. It's Yawgmoth's Will plus Lion's Eye Diamond is not a combo, but in High Tide, you often do want Yawgmoth's Will in your hand. We're just gonna jam like every turn this game and just make them have it every turn. Yeah, already resolving. I love it. Tinker and Polymorph? That doesn't sound like Seinfeld. You can't call a deck Seinfeld and then put cards that only win the game in them. And that means you're playing other creatures and artifacts. That's not Seinfeld at all. Fabricate. Okay. So maybe they just have a fast combo hand. Yeah, Time Vault. This is a little scary, actually. Time Vault in hand. I'm gonna start with activating Jace. I don't like this anymore. They have Time Vault. If they have Key, I just lose. I'm gonna discard the Yawgmoth's Will. So I could just Spellseeker for High Tide and then I probably win next turn. But that's risky. Do we just make them have it? Like, what are the odds they had exactly Key already? Because we do have options to draw more cards. We could Frantic Search and opt to potentially find a counterspell, so that lets us look at 4 more cards. Hey George, thanks for dropping by. Yeah, Seinfeld, a deck about nothing, exactly. I'm just gonna pass. The fact that they have Time Vault makes me too scared to go for the Spellseeker line. Yeah, just preordain. I probably should have, but because I don't know how likely we were to find a counterspell anyways. Thought Erasure. Yeah. Well, our High Tide would have got Thought Erasure this way, so it ended up working out, but if they don't have a counterspell, they might have to take this Jace. I don't think we can cast Preordain then pass, because then we're not representing anything. We're sort of like not pressuring them and not being able to react to them. That's, if we're passing, I was definitely passing with all this mana up in case I had to do something else. So this tells me they don't have a counterspell. Also the fact that they tapped out, but yeah, the reason I didn't go for Preordain there is because I wanted access to Frantic Search and opt if I needed to find a counterspell for this Time Vault in their hand. So I'm going to cast Opt here. Ooh, Baral's a good one. We'll top that. Gifts is also a good one. So I could flip my Jace here if I want to. I think I do. Both of those cards are good. Don't think I need this Peregrine Drake, though. Discard a card. Awkward. I'm going to discard the Logic Knot. Alright. If we draw a land, we can win next turn. Yeah, I'm not going to be going for too much longer, Red Mage. I have the tournament to go play in, but just getting in a quick afternoon stream before then. I really enjoyed doing that last time. Sort of got me in the Highlander mood, Highlander headspace. So yeah, it looks like they're one tutor short. If we draw a land, we're in good shape. Nice. I think I'm gonna downtick on Preordain here. It's possible people would want to try an Enduring Ideal brew. Force of Will, that's definitely what we're in the market for. Charge. Now we only need 9 Storm. Nice. Are they have Snapcaster for Impulse? That's fine. If I was them, I might have Snapcastered this Thought Erasure on their turn, but our Jace is still living. This is absolutely fine by me. They need to find key plus counterspell. Or key plus discard spell, I guess. But we're gonna cast Gifts Ungiven here and get a bunch of untappers. Then on our turn, we're gonna get cast Spellseeker for High Tide and try to go off. Oops, I tapped one too many mana. One too many mana. This is not what I'm bringing tonight. I'm bringing Bant Clones again. Totally down for this to just get countered if I need it. Yep, that's fine. Oh, counter bounce. It's kind of annoying, actually. Surprised they didn't counter draw there. There are a couple good shells for channel. We have an opponent we've played on here a couple times who plays a kind of wonkier channel brew, but it's definitely gone off against us, and they've taken games. There's a local player who plays Big Green with some Eldrazi that plays channel. I've played Red Green Ramp with channel and a couple fireballs in it. It's kind of an underexplored card. Oh yeah, definitely forgot to activate Jace. Classic. I've mentioned before, I will mention it again. I'm not great at upticking planeswalkers. I often forget. So we're lucky they're still just on the old pass the turn plan. Could try to go for it here, but instead I'm just gonna try to end step this Mystic Confluence. Alright, I think I'm gonna try to fight over this. Dig through time. I think I have to let this resolve. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I'm just gonna counter. I'm gonna ditch the Drake. I have lots of mana. I'd rather have an extra card off this Serum Visions. Blink. That's some good protection right now. Alright, I'm gonna discard the Serum Visions. Channel Oath isn't too common. Jamming it. Okay. Unjam, please. Ooh. That's a good one. Wonder if they have a counter. I'm gonna keep playing it safe. I think it's pretty clear that we're ahead here. I don't know if I'm lucky that there is nowhere in response. And they would have whirred and been tapped out, I think. So wouldn't have been that bad. How many people do I expect? Probably around 25. Yeah, I am gonna hold the island here. I don't think we need to play it. Alright, I'm gonna counter this one for sure. With what? Guess we might as well counter it and draw a card. And we get to leave up Spell Snare. Never didn't have it. Palancron, that's infinite mana. Alright. Now we're cooking with gas. Channel's definitely a powerful Magic card, though. I think it's relatively underexplored in this format. Matman 257700. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. This has been a really interesting game, though. I think I might have played too cautiously at some points, but I think we're in a reasonable spot now. Having Spell Snare against the known Time Vault in their hand is great. This is Canadian Highlander. Sauvageur. There's a panel below the stream called About CanLander, and it links to a video that has a pretty good explanation if you're not familiar. But it's 100 card singleton format. It's 20 life and probably a bit more competitive than Commander if you're familiar with that. All right, what do we have to get back? So we have a win if they don't have a counter. we can minus Jace on teachings for Blue Sun Zenith, and with Palancron and High Tide, that makes all the manas. It is a little annoying to do on Magic Online, though. I think we'll do that. That's 7 lands. No, that's 7. Can I have infinite mana, please? Their mystical teachings-ing. They forgot they had High Tide. Often forgotten, High Tide is symmetrical. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. We can also Frantic Search in response to try to find a better counterspell. And if this doesn't work, I think we have enough to mystical teachings. Oh no, we don't quite have enough to do that. We're not necessarily over if this gets countered. What's up, Wilhelm? Thanks for popping back in. Exactly. Fair and balanced Magic card. Be surprised if they let this resolve. Drain. Yeah, we got the answer for that one, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, there are better cards than Frantic Search in my deck. Island is not one of them. Oop. It's working. It's working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. -3 on mystical teachings. Cast mystical teachings. Yeah, Highlander chill times are pretty great. I'm sort of hoping they concede soonish. It's gonna take a while to. I'm just gonna message them and let them know. Yeah, they may have something to do. They have 4 mana available, so. Oh man, they had Force of Will and Time Vault. They debated getting Logic Knot, apparently, to play around the Spell Snare. But we just managed to pull that one out. That was a really interesting game. We both had lots of decisions to make, and I think we got pretty lucky with some of our draws to answer them how we did. I really like playing blue mirrors. They're super interesting. How do I set up CanLander and MTGO? Well, I have a CanLander clan that I'm trying to populate with all the all the CanLander players, so it's easy to find games, and then you just make a vintage deck it's just the honor system. It's just 100 card singleton vintage. Just shoot me a message and we'll I'm gonna switch to Bant Blink here. Get me in the mood for some Bant clones. My username on MTGO is the same as here. I'm JRH White. Yeah, and if you have CanLander, I'd definitely love to add you in. This hand is great. Has a tutor for something big, has a flicker effect on a creature, has mana, has Coiling Oracle, which is a reasonable target. Exactly what we want. Yeah, if anyone wants in, add me on MTGO, send me a message and I'll add you in. Nice, hit a land. Wasn't an untapped green source, but that'll still be nice for next turn. Clan invite to clan, sent. Mono red, eh? Alright. I think we're fine against mono red here. I mean, 70 Relentless lasts 30 swamps as a deck. I'm not sure that's the right ratio. It feels more like 67-33 to me, but maybe 66-34. We're going to say no blocks here. We have 2 creatures already that block this just fine, so I don't see a real reason to counter it. I'm going to play the Aether Vial, the Elvish Mystic, and the Sylvan Caryatid in the opposite order that I said. Sweet, Exaveron. That's a great idea. Lotus red. I like it. My favorite point spread in this deck is Black Lotus Mox. Sin Prodder. Oh, I see. I merely spoke of playing the Aether Vial. Didn't actually play it. A bold line, to be sure. Alright. This feels like we need a Palace Jailer. Mostly for this doofus. Little risky in this matchup, but I think we can do it. We just have to remember to do it after their combat. No. Oh wait, yes. Yeah, definitely. Ever since I started streaming, it seems a few more people have gotten in, so I imagine it'll only get better from there. And I plan on continuing to stream, so onwards and upwards, I say. I expect them to attack with everything. I'm surprised they didn't attack with Ferocidon, but even if I double blocked, they're probably afraid of all the mana and like a Restoration Angel or something, but yeah, although Benzel, I don't think it's the worst. We've been talking for a few years now about trying to find a better mulligan system than the Sorensen mulligan, so Let's get a tropical island. This will just get a plains. I want to be as wary of price of progress as I can here. And then we will chord for this many, which finds us one jailer. Then we can blink the jailer, get their other menace creature, and go from there. Yeah, I did know my opponent had a YouTube channel. They recorded some of the matches. I'm planning on sharing it later. I just wanted to finish watching it. Give me your dinosaur. So it is a little risky to introduce the Monarch in this matchup, but I think I'm going to be able to hold on to it well enough that it's going to be all right. So we're just going to fire this off right away. Oh. That's also a good point there, Matt, is that it makes it in line with the rest of Magic, so it's just one less thing to talk about to newer players. All right, so they had a lightning strike, but that's fine. Our board still lines up reasonably well against theirs. And it's not like they get their dinosaur back, so. Oh, nice. Drew a 1-drop for the vial. Worked out perfectly. And that some decks do definitely cheat on lands. Yeah, we're gonna have them put that card right into their graveyard. Bushwhacker kicked. Invite to clan. Chain lightning my guy. They're trying to take back the Monarch. The nerve of some people. How do I best take advantage of this? We're in a tight spot, I would say. A tight spot indeed. So they're getting the monarchy back no matter what, because this has menace. So I think I just want to activate this Stirring Wildwood and eat a creature. So we're gonna block here. What would I rather eat? I'm gonna eat this Soulscar Mage, and I'll block there as well. Just take a little less damage. Because they're getting their stupid dinosaur back. Path is a nice one, though. Path is a nice one. You can have a land. When I fetch with Windswept Teeth, I really should have got a Plains. Because now it's awkward to animate this Stirring Wildwood. it depends on which Highlander deck you get. Some of them will cost under 100. Some of them will cost up to 400 is the top end I've seen. That was a really great draw. I should have probably just bounced this now so they didn't get the trigger. Yeah, oh man, this is so risky. I think I need them to light up the stage in their graveyard. I don't think I can let them have it. Hmm. I'm gonna bounce Hazaret because I don't think I can let them untap with that. Then I'm gonna double block the Sin Prodder and single block the Ash Zealot. But we definitely need a good draw or two here. That was 2. That was worth 2 good draws. I'm gonna play around a shock by putting it on the cat. Oh no, I targeted the wrong thing. What a punt. Man, Magic Online gets me every time. Lightning Mauler. That's annoying. I think I should have killed the Ash Zealot on my turn, because now they could have Titan Strength. I'm just gonna try to kill it. Yeah, they got us. Had the burn spell. Alright. Next game. I think this is a reasonable matchup for this deck. Well, like, original duels are still, like, in and around $10, I found, which is, it wouldn't have ended up mattering there, I don't think. Maybe it would have, because I could have blocked, gained 4. Yeah, it did matter. Would I like to play first? Yes. I will keep. Yeah, the problem is Magic Online was just coded really poorly the first time. And it's very difficult to go back and fix things that were done poorly the first time. Like, it's a lot harder to go back and fix something than to just, like, do something right the first time. What are my thoughts on Sildevi Excavations? I mean, I love that card. As far as I'm aware, I'm the only one who's ever won a tournament with it. You need the right deck for sure, though. Don't kill my second elf. Alright. I'm like 90% sure we just win based on the fact that we're slamming turn 3 Baloth. Your turn. Yeah, Matt, maybe gaining 2 on my turn was the line. But I am not going to block. We are winning the race. Statist 42. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. When's the next North 100? Surge is away this week, so probably the following week. So it'll probably come out 2 weeks tomorrow. So not for quite a while, unfortunately. But we did just do a bunch in a row, and we said we weren't going to do them every week this year. It was fun, but it was definitely a lot last year. I'm tapping this so I can leave open the land, which is a more reliable source of mana. Whereas if they try to burn the Noble Hierarch on end step, then I potentially lose my cloud shifting options. Just gonna get the old Jitler again. Hyphen Jones and Dawkin 1993. Thanks for following. Always appreciate it. Mono Red's such a good deck. It's just so consistent. We are once again not blocking. How expensive is CanLander on Moto? Are there outlier decks? There definitely are outlier decks that are way cheaper or more expensive. Like the way things are priced on Magic Online is pretty weird. Because like there's a different demand than in paper. Like the power is all really cheap, whereas cards like Force of Will is one of the most expensive Magic Online cards, and Liliana the Veil is also really expensive, and fetch lands are more expensive than dual lands because of modern. Modern is the predominant format, so over Legacy. And since they're all just as acquirable, it makes sense that the fetch lands are worth more than the original duels. Yeah, I'm just casually crushing red souls around the world. Yeah, that's definitely true, Benzel. Modern staples are where the bulk of the cost is. So if you can find a deck where you're not playing many of the modern staples, then that's likely where the cheapest deck will be. If you can avoid fetches, so a monocolored deck that doesn't need fetch lands is a good option for sure. One damage to each creature, 2 damage to each opponent, and destroy target artifact. Man, that was pretty good. At least we'll gain our 2 life. Yeah, didn't matter at that point. That was the 10th point of life we'd gained that game. Too much. Aether Vial, Wasteland, Survival. I think this hand is good enough. I'm gonna get a basic. Always yield. Yes. I'm good. Just gonna fire off this wasteland immediately. Try to slow her down. Our opponent didn't cast any spells yet. We have Aether Vial going, which is great for us. If they drew... Yeah, the only 2-drop they'd play is if they drew one or they needed double red, and they just drew second red. So I think we're in a good spot. I'm just going to cast this wall. I could have cast Survival End Wall, but I couldn't activate Survival this turn anyway, so I was hoping to draw something to put in with Vial there. Didn't happen, but that's okay. This card's pretty potent in this deck. So my plan next turn is to play Survival and be able to activate it for a 3-drop, discarding Archon. Depends on the matchup, Mercurial. The question was, assuming Valor's Reach is in the Clones variant, how many does it take for the opponent to scoop? Yeah. Just depends on the matchup. Yeah, I've been really impressed with Bant Tamio Matt. I think she's one of the most underplayed Planeswalkers right now. So unless we draw something real good, our plan is to just play and activate Survival. That is pretty good. I think we can save it, though. I think we're just going to stick with our original plan of Survival with Aether Vial, which is pretty gross. Yeah, definitely great advice there, Benzel. Is there's different versions of cards on MTGO. Like there's like a VMA sets and like Masters Edition sets for Magic Online that were only Magic Online cards, and it's definitely worthwhile to look up which ones are the cheapest, because especially for the more expensive cards, some of them are vastly cheaper. All right, before we decide whether or not we're blocking, let's do our thing. My instinct is just get Kitchen Finks. I'm just gonna do it. Just getting Kitchen Finks. Yep, Finks in. I don't know if I'm blocking with it yet, but we're doing it. I think I'm just gonna block with the wall. If they want to kill my wall with a burn spell. So it goes. Searing Blood. Okay, that's kind of annoying, but that's okay, I think. Oh boy, this is going to be a gross turn. I'm sorry, my opponent, for what is about to happen. We are not getting Restoration Angel. We are getting one that is much better. The Thrag Father, Swag Tusk, up to 25. We're gonna violin this Glimmer Point Stag. Flicker it, get a beast, gain 5. Our poor opponent. I don't even care about that. That is fine. I hope they have a second spear. Oh, they had to fire blast it. Okay, they got it though. That's a lot of burn spells we traded though. Definitely worthwhile. And now we're still up 8 life points and in dominant position on the board. All right, I actually have another gross play this turn. Oops. Do. If in doubt against mono red, just cast exactly or however many Thrag Tusks and Kitchen Finks as humanly possible until your opponent does not want to get Kitchen Finks or Thrag Tusked anymore. Yeah, the Bellower is a good boy. Yeah, Matt, I feel like Greg is just like feeling a twinge in the force right now. He's just like, someone's getting Thrag Tusked for the second time this game. No, we're not casting these. Gurky Game Master, thanks for the follow. Game Master 2, sorry. Appreciate all the follows, guys, and the support. Had a sweet standard stream this morning. Played through 2 traditional constructed events. We 5-0'd with a Teamer Reclamation deck that I've been really liking. And then we 1-2'd with a more developmental deck, a mono red Arclight Phoenix deck I've been trying to get to work, but just haven't quite got there. Yeah, I do have a list for the deck. I forgot to update my stream decker, but if you go down below the stream, there should be a stream decker panel, and if you load the decks, this is the Bant Blink deck that's listed on the stream decker. Yeah, I also don't think we drew very well Mercurial Vox. I think you're right, but you know, sometimes that just happens. You take your lumps. Just as our opponent is taking some lumps in this game. I didn't know they were going to play mono red. They didn't know I was going to play Bant Blink. This is just what happens sometimes. My opponent messaged me and asked if they mind if they pack it in, and I said no, not at all. Seems reasonable, but yeah, just getting Thrag Tusked in the dirt. Going out in style. All right, I got time for one more, I think. Either Wilhelm or Benzel. Do you want to? Any new brews I've been working on? Yeah, Gurky Game Master. We have a deck I'm playing tonight. That's a bit of a new brew. Sorry, just chatting to my previous opponent. We're gonna talk about it after this next match. Benzel or Wilhelm. Yeah, if one of you wants to send me a match, I don't know. I'll accept the first one. Sorry, whoever's ready is gonna get it. Looks like Wilhelm is maybe online already, so Kino 37. Thanks for the follow. Always appreciate it. I'm not a big fan of Estrid or her Invocation. Surge played Estrid in the last FNPF. Sorry, Benzel. Wilhelm beat you by a hair there. Definitely add me though. And I'll add you to the clan. Or maybe I already did. I can't remember. This hand's good enough. We're not going to play Mana Crypt here in case they're an aggressive deck and turns out we want to slow roll it, but yeah, we're going to talk about the Bant Clones deck, and I'm maybe try to brainstorm some changes for it going forward. Uh-oh. Dark Ritual turn 1. Really good. Then, yeah, really enjoying being able to jam CanLander. Going really well. Yeah, I think I'm going to continue to slow roll this Mana Crypt just in case it comes down to a matter of life. Our hand's doing fine. Just fine anyways. Hopefully this Thalia is able to slow them down. Yeah, the turn 1 Dark Rituals in Highlander are typically honest Dark Rituals. The busted Storm draws are using 0 mana spells most often. This Nighthawk's going to be an annoying one to race, though. It's going to look weird not attacking with our elf here, but maybe now's the time we play Mana Crypt so we get to look a little less conspicuous. I think I'm just going to attack with Thalia, though. This is the same well, not same style. It's not the exact same list, but yeah, pretty much the same deck, capable of doing the same things. Wall of Omens, man, they just got our number. I think we're gonna resto and block here unless they sniff it out. Nope, they decided to attack anyways, so Sure. We'll blink an elf. Give them a new experience. This elf's probably never been plunk before. Yeah, GG's, low man. Thanks for the games. Yeah, I didn't know you were gonna switch to red deck. I might have played a different deck if I had known, but yeah. Good matches all the same. Yeah, blink, blank, blunk. You don't know the classic conjugations of blink? Mr. Claude, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. There's not a lot better than casting Muldrifter. It feels very good. Ooh, that sword is a nice one. We will be suiting up the Muldrifter. Do you think it holds it with the fins or in its mouth? How does it hold a sword? 420 Blaze It is also in the deck. Yeah, I didn't mistap. I just misclicked on which creature it was supposed to go to, low man. I definitely meant to put it on the Stoneforge Mystic, but yeah. Duct tape, telekinesis, more duct tape. Yeah, I could see duct tape. You sort of like duct tape it to the forehead, and then it's sort of like a unicorn, but with a sword of fire and ice. Unearth Nighthawk. My plans. Oh, it enters tapped. Thalia is a busted magic card. Whee! Right on cue. Yeah, we don't have enough mana to do both, so I'm just going to equip. And then attack with everything. Charge. Have I ever died to a 40-40 Muldrifter? I have not. Yeah, somewhere Marshall was like the most happiest he's ever been. Yeah, that match was, or that game was gross. Just gonna nug the wall out of here. An extra 2 points probably won't matter. Eternal Witness is nice. So I don't think our opponent can really afford to attack. We'll have to decide what we want to do next turn. I might just equip to Thalia and attack. Try to force a jump block here. Could also just trade the Muldrifter with the sword on it. They're almost certainly blocking if I do that, but... Twist me. Well, hope I keep Cloudblazer. Nope. Just kept this Mana Crypt I'm probably never going to cast. Then B44, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Evolutionary Leap. I don't think it's good enough in general, unless you're getting a lot of value out of sacrificing your creatures, or you have like very, very few creatures in your deck, and you're using it sort of polymorph-esque. I don't think it's good enough as a value card in general. Drawing Brago makes me wanna just suit up this Thalia. Or I could have suited up the elves actually and then attacked with both. That might have been sweet. Might have been a good line. A classic blunder, Singo Muse. I've definitely done that. I often play chess on the bus, and sometimes if I get into a really intense chess match, I'll miss my stop. And I once missed my stop by 10 stops and had to walk quite a long way. I might just do nothing. I'm gonna cast this now because I don't think it matters if I do not. And I'm just gonna lay down the Brago. I think it presents lethal. Because they're unable to block any of my non-first striking creatures. So they need to have a thing. Oh no, a blunder. Yeah, Matt, have I seen you playing Evolutionary Leap before? Attacks, eh? I feel like I'm getting wrathed. Can't help but feel I am getting wrathed. So I'm wary of Settle the Wreckage here. Won the flip. Ooh, Court of Calling. What do I attack with if I'm worried about Settle the Wreckage? Probably Thalia and Muldrifter. Because then I can displace them if necessary. Still lethal. Malicious Affliction. I don't think I care. That is fine. So we probably could have just won there, but you know, that's no fun. Let's chord for 5. That does seem like fun. What do we want? Keeper seems good. Shalai is a good one. I think Keeper's better though. I honestly didn't know what I was getting when I courted it. I'm not as familiar with this deck as I should be, but I often mix up cards between this deck and the clones deck. How does Shalai kill them? Oh, you're right. I could have courted for Shalai and blanked their removal spell. That's a better line than the one I took, that's for sure. Good thought. Missed that line for sure. We are snap blocking. Deathrite Salmon doesn't matter. Unlock all the doors. The doors need to be unlocked. I'll go with heads. I won. Always never lucky. Let's play a wall. Let's equip a sword. Unfortunate, Exaveron. Unfortunate. Alright, we got there, but they got pretty stuck on mana that game, so hopefully they have a bit better draw game too. I think it's still a little too early on the Rav cards. Nice. I'm going to keep this one. Hopefully Coiling Oracle can find us another land if we aren't able to draw one. And Survival's a super powerful card in this deck. Holy. I probably would have waited till my turn to do this, Wilhelm, if you're able to rewatch the VOD, but it probably doesn't impact my play, but it might. Gotta take advantage of those instant speed tutors while you can. Where you can, rather. So a Rav card I'm excited to try out in an archetype that doesn't get much love. I'm not certain. I'd have to think on that one. I'm usually pretty good at trying out all the cards I really want to try out. I haven't played with Skargan Hellkite yet much. That's a card I assume is good, but I'm not certain. So their choices are quarter survival. I'd expect them to take the survival. It's definitely the more threatening card. Yeah, Judith is another exciting one. Yeah, they made what I think is the right call in taking the survival. It's possible I should have played Wall of Roots here, but I wanted to try to conceal a bit of information, and we hit the land. Always lucky. Yeah, with Judith in play, it's super hard to block. She just dies to lots of removal. Like if you make that attack and then they kill Judith, then you just chump attack your elf, which is the downside there, Benzel. Not denying she's good. I'm just saying it's can be a bit of a double-edged sword sometimes. Man, our opponent's drawn a lot of points so far. Pretty scary. I haven't tried Spawn of Mayhem yet, Lowman. Have you tried it out yet? When I play aggressive decks, I tend to play green-based aggressive decks, so... I don't think it's crazy to think Applied Biomancy is playable. I don't think it is, just because I don't think the +1/+1 mode does quite enough, but... there's definitely a chance that it's worthwhile. Oh man, I don't have double weight. Thought I had double weight. Nice. Later, Exaveron. Have a good night. Biogenic Ooze is really good. Yeah, Colossus is obviously just... Collision Colossus is obviously good. You're playing Colossal Might already, and that card is... I don't throw Strictly Better around very often, but it is strictly better than Colossal Might. In the decks that play it. Like, technically it has Force CMC, which makes it different and sometimes worse, but in the deck that plays it, it is strictly better. I do think Spawn of Mayhem is good. It's more of a rumbling slum than a Phyrexian Negator, but that's what I'm saying. There are situations where it's technically worse, but wonder why they didn't attack. Are they planning on blocking, or they just don't want to trade 1-for-1 anymore? I guess that makes sense. Same clock, though. I'm going to blink the Coiling Oracle here. I think the card is better than the... I should have played Ball of Roots first. That was a mistake. I could have put both of these in play. Druid Tribal, unsure. I've decided I'm not gonna invest anymore in MTGO for the next little bit, but maybe next month I'm gonna look into potentially getting some more decks. So it's a good thing we didn't run this Court of Calling into that Mind Sensor. Ooh, Thragtusk. Alright, it's going to be really hard for them to race us now. Our creatures are just large and in charge. Yeah, I just don't think it's a powerful card, but Gruesome Menagerie, I just don't think it's reliable enough. I think if you're playing it, you need to have a combo win. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that, honestly. That's a good plan. Point low man, I didn't even think of that. Probably was, but I mean it worked out because they ended up having Mind Sensor, which is bad news for survival, but that in the abstract that probably would have been a better play for sure. Yeah, Seaton is a good boy for sure. So I can't attack anymore, which is unfortunate. I can play Archon of Valor's Reach, however. And then I can attack. I'm going to name Sorcery. Elspeth. That's somewhat annoying. Wonder if they're going to attack. We can cord for a Palace Jailer if they attack, and then maybe win. Let's see, they block there, then they're taking 9. Not quite dead, but in some trouble, I'd say. We are also just taking 10 here, which is bold. Alright, I'll play Wall of Roots this time because it's mana neutral with cord. What? 1. Oh, yeah, didn't think about Mind Sensor. That's Yep. Yep. Good point, chat. Good point. Good point, well made. Should have played this Thragtusk for sure. At least we get to take out this Elspeth. At the very least. That's not going to work out how they want it to. This has trample. Yeah. That was a questionable choice by me. But hopefully we don't get punished too badly. Hoping this is blanking at least one card in their hand. This block is not going to work out. It also doesn't make sense. All my creatures are attacking Elspeth. They're tapped out. I can't think of anything they could have that would make this block a success. Mutagenic growth doesn't do anything. Gut shot doesn't do anything. Oh no, maybe they missed the trample on this creature. That's too bad. Looks like they might have missed the trample. Yeah. I'm fairly certain they missed the trample. Yeah, that was a punt for a punt, but I think theirs might have hurt them more than ours did. They did get our Baloth off the board, but I'm not sure how much that'll end up mattering. Alright, what's the damage here? We don't actually have that many great attacks. Just gonna ship with the Archon in the stage. I know it's called a stag for the record. I just have a friend who calls it a stage, and so I call it a stage. Anarchic. Thanks for the follow. Appreciated. Anarchic. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. Why are they blocking like that again? It has Trample Wilhelm. Maybe they want to flip their Liliana? I don't know if their Liliana flip does things, but no, let's not play a survival because it doesn't do anything. Well, I guess we might as well play it, but we're not going to activate. If you're in the chat and want to help out for the next segment, we're going to be looking at the Bant clone deck in the Stream Decker. So if you go down below, you can find it in the Stream Decker. And we're gonna look for replacements for Knight of the Reliquary, Elvish Visionary, and there's one more card. All right, got there on that one. Lamenting that Archon has so many abilities for seemingly no reason. Which cards did I want to cut? Knight of the Reliquary, Mystic Snake, and Elvish Visionary. So I'll put it as the current deck, so it's easier to pull up. Just taking a minute here. There we go. Should be pulled up now. So if we type in yeah, thanks Wilhelm. Exclamation mark deck should get us the deck list. And we want to try to brainstorm replacements for Knight of the Reliquary, Mystic Snake, and Elvish Visionary. I just found I never wanted to copy an Elvish Visionary, and it wasn't really a relevant body. Knight of the Reliquary is all right, but I'm just not certain it's the value card we want. It's all right to clone, but not amazing, and we're not really doing anything special with lands. So it can get out of control, but I think it's maybe a little slow and clunky for the deck. And then Mystic Snake also isn't a great clone target. There's a couple, maybe one at instant speed. Cackling Counterpart is instant speed, and Stunt Double is. So it works really well with those ones, but the other ones it's super unexciting to clone. So I'm trying to think of replacements for those. I'm considering Aether Vial. Aether Vial could be a really cool one, especially with all the clones in the deck. Having any creature at instant speed seems really cool. Voice of Resurgence is another one I was thinking. I can't find my copy of Sakashima's Student. So yeah, that one should definitely get in the deck. I just don't have it. Yeah, I think Vial's gonna get in. We're gonna try that one. I can't think of what else to add though. I'll pull the deck up so we can look at it. I feel like this deck has a really good matchup against aggressive decks, and so I'd maybe like something else that's relevant interaction or aggro wise. Voice is already in the deck. It's tough. Could try Venser. I think Venser's a little slow. The minus ability is likely really good, but I'm not sure if Venser's where we want to be. I wasn't super sold on Nissa either, the Planeswalker I decided to play. I've really loved Tamiyo, but I could play a Fiend Hunter, but I already have Deputy of Detention, which is sort of like a turbo Fiend Hunter, and then I also have Palace Jailer. So, which clone from M19? I'm trying to think of which one it is. Yeah, Voice is already in the deck. I goofed. I don't usually play Boreal Druid in 3-color decks, just because I have like double white, double green, and double blue all in my deck. Oh yeah, Mirror Image. Mirror Image could maybe get in. That's definitely one to consider. I do want to be careful about putting too many clone effects in my deck. My creature count is really, really high, but I don't necessarily want to clone every creature in the deck. Sweg Leaps, thanks for the follow. Always appreciate the follows. I don't usually play Batterskull with Stoneforge just because drawing Batterskull on its own is often kind of disappointing. It's a pretty clunky card. Not anymore, Hornet Mom. That rule got changed. It's now just 10 points. 10 points no matter what. Kira's already in. I actually had really good experience with Kira. Hey, Pharmacist Judge. Thanks for joining the chat. we're just sort of winding down now, but we're talking about the deck I'm gonna play tonight. It's Bant Clones. If you want to bring the deck up yourself, it's the deck loaded up in my Stream Decker right now, so it's !deck. And it's similar to the Bant Blink deck that I played on Friday Night Paper Fight, but instead of blink effects, I'm experimenting with a bunch of clone effects. And I think it's gonna be stronger. We're looking for cuts, replacements for Elvish Visionary, Knight of the Reliquary, and Mystic Snake, all of which I was kind of underwhelmed with. Just because I often found I didn't want to clone Elvish Visionary. It was kind of an underwhelming target. Knight of the Reliquary felt kind of slow and underwhelming while it was in play. And Mystic Snake, once again, just not a very good clone effect. We only have 2 at instant speed, so difficult to set up, I'd say. So we're thinking Aether Vial is a strong contender with 51 creatures in the deck. Although we are looking at cutting 3, even 48 creatures is more than enough to get value out of Aether Vial, especially with all the clones in the deck, and could potentially be a pretty big blowout. And then we're still kind of stuck on what else to include. There isn't a tireless tracker in this deck. That's definitely a consideration. It is a super low land count, though. We only have 34 lands because we have 2 Moxes and relying on some mana from creatures. Ooh, I've been wanting to try out Militia Bugler. I'll do a quick count and see how many targets we have. 9, 10. It hits all the clones, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm gonna try out Militia Bugler, Nexus Fox. That's a really great idea. I didn't put in Cleek just because, once again, it's not a great clone target. That's another one you kind of want to be able to do at instant speed, and it's legendary, so cloning it doesn't grant you that much value. That's sort of the same reason I didn't include Venser, Shaper Savant, or Thrun in the deck. Awesome, and I Amethyst. Thanks for the follows. Really appreciated. I think you have to go more ham if you're gonna play Biovisionary. But maybe the next meme stream I might try this with a Biovisionary in its Swig Leaps. So we're going to try out Militia Bugler. We're going to add an Aether Vial. Yeah, it often doesn't matter, but you always have to keep an eye on if Caracas is really going to get you or not. And also, so that's even in Singleton, it can be relevant. I'm not sure if Master Biomancer is really what we want to be doing in this deck. It's a powerful card, but it doesn't do a whole lot by itself. And I just don't know if we're doing enough to really abuse the ability of making our creatures a little bit bigger. Getting a few of them in play is nice, but I think it might be a little slow. I'd be worried about. Jadelight Ranger is another reasonable suggestion from Nexus Fox, so I might try that. I do want to play Jadelight Ranger more in CanLander. I don't think it got a fair shake, really. Dovin Grand Arbiter might be worth trying. Maybe I'll cut Nissa for Dovin. I don't think we want sweepers in this deck, Wilhelm, just because I think we're going to be the head on board deck most of the time. And if we fall behind a little early, we have a lot of creatures that can catch us up or stall the board until we go over the top. And I don't think we want to cut our mana off because we rely on elves a lot. Mulldrifter actually isn't in this deck. I'm not playing Mulldrifter or Cloudblazer. I'm relying more on sort of more game ending creatures at the 5-mana slot. I'm playing Biogenic Ooze, Deranged Hermit, Keeper of Keys, Mesmerizing Benthid, Thragtusk, Verdurous Gearhulk, and then my only 6 in the deck is Archon. I didn't get to do it last week, but I really wanted to have Archon and then start cloning it to shut off all the spells. Progenitor Mimic is a reasonable choice, but I kind of wanted my top end creatures to be good by themselves as well, and to really end the game, because I sort of figured my opponents might have to kill all my creatures, and then I want to be able to untap on 5 or 6 mana and then play a creature that they're like, oh man, wish I'd saved a removal spell for that one, but they just couldn't because I'm just getting so much value. Ooh, yeah, oppositions are another really good suggestion. Maybe I'll add that. I'll add Aether Vial, Militia Bugler, Dovin, and Opposition, and I'll cut the 3 cards I was discussing of cutting, Elvish Visionary, Knight of the Reliquary, Mystic Snake, and I'll cut Nissa and swap it with a Dovin. That seems like a good plan. Thanks for all the suggestions. I'll do a bit of just general Q&A before I wrap up the stream, but I'm going to try to wrap up the stream in the next 5 or 10. So if you have any CanLander Qs, fire them my way and I'll try to answer them as best I can. If you didn't hear, I got reelected to the council for another term on Monday, so 4 more years, I guess. Ben got reelected as well. I'm kind of down on Sylvan Library, but I think it's good enough in this deck. Like, I still think it's a good card. I just don't think it's an auto include. Ranking of Power 9 per use in Canadian Highlander. I think Recall is first, Time Walk is second, Mox Ruby is third, Mox Pearl is fourth, Lotus is fifth, then Mox Emerald, then Mox Jet, then Mox Sapphire, then Time Twister. Yeah, thanks, Brubaka. How many instants and sorceries should I be running in a Delver deck? If you're running like a Delver, Young Pyromancer, or I guess Delver wants a few more, I'd try to play at least 35 if you can for a Delver deck, but ideally you'd run a few more than that. Yeah, Sapphire is probably the weakest one, just because you're essentially, the opportunity cost of playing Sapphire is so much higher, because you're essentially cutting the best 3 blue cards, 1-point cards you could put in your deck otherwise, which is often Dig Through Time, True Name Nemesis, Mana Drain, Treasure Cruise, Merchant Scroll, some combination of 3 of 5 of those. Whereas the opportunity cost of running the others is just much lower. What are this deck's best and worst matchups? So I talked about that a bit last stream. I still think this deck, like Bant Blink, is weak against super fast linear decks that are tending towards combo. Like, it's pretty good against the linear aggressive decks, but decks like Hoof, decks like Storm, decks like Academy even can be super rough matchups. Academy's a little better because I can potentially get a naturalized creature in play and then clone it a bunch to blow up a bunch of their artifacts, but it doesn't really interact with Storm or Hoof very well, and they're just going to go over the top of what we're doing, and we're not going to be able to interact very well. I think Ben is going to be at GP Calgary. I'm not planning on going. I have a wedding that weekend, so I'm unable to go, and I'm not certain on what Serge and Alex's plans are. How do I feel about Sanctum Prelit? It's not as good as I was hoping it was going to be. Sort of its printing and the downswing in 4-mana sweepers happened at the same time, and that's what I felt it was going to be strongest at, was shutting off 4-mana sweepers. And so I found the answers are just too varied that if your opponent needs to remove it to cast something, they often can, because the control and mid-range decks are tending towards more single target removal. It can definitely still be a good card. It's just not as backbreaking as I thought it would be. Loved the Scape Shift stream. As a past broadcaster, I really like this kind of deck where you have so many lines, and having them on YouTube is super helpful to learn them better. Awesome. Thanks. Glad you're enjoying the YouTube uploads. I'm gonna keep uploading all of my CanLander streams to the YouTube channel, which I'm gonna try to remember to put down in one of the panels below soon. I keep forgetting. Both the Discord and my tapped out account are down there now, however, so if you're looking to sink your teeth into some CanLander decks, then definitely check out the tapped out account. All right, looks like the questions are slowing down, so I'm gonna get off and grab some dinner before the Highlander tournament. I'll talk about the big black deck next time. Yeah, I've really overwhelmed with everyone's support. It's super awesome to see. Really gives me the motivation to keep doing it. Really appreciate all the familiar faces I've been seeing since I've started streaming. Yeah, I'll try to post my results tonight on Twitter. I can definitely do that if people wanna see it. But yeah, appreciate all the follows, all the awesome discussion we have going on in the chat. So yeah, appreciate all of you. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you next time.